Nobody knows what the recovery is going to look like exactly, but when we look at history, there really aren't that many examples of a U-shaped recovery coming off a recession, particularly when it's this steep, mainly because the comparisons are just so easy. And then when you combine that with the fact that the policy response has really been unprecedented, it's hard for us not to see V-shaped recovery. That doesn't mean we can't have a relapse next year. We can't have some sort of slowdown. But for now, it looks like it'll be a pretty powerful recovery into the fall from a rate of change standpoint. That's why the market has rallied so much. We would not rule out, some consolidation in here, but we think that pullbacks are going to end up being shallower than what people want or need. To Mike's point a minute ago, people probably aren't positioned as bullishly as they would like to be, and that creates anxiety, which means those pullbacks will be shallower than they want.
But, Mike, what about the view that even as activity comes back, it's going to be slow? Restaurants are only allowed to open at 20 to 30% of capacity. Movie theaters are in the last phase of growth. People are afraid in some places to go out to these things. In some cases, we're going to see permanent changes. I mean, how do you have a V-shaped recovery with all of those ifs and buts?
Well, once again, Sarah, it's more about the rate of change. I mean, we're coming from such a low level that if you just any kind of recovery will be positive from that rate of change standpoint. I'd also, contrast the services industry with what's going to probably happen in manufacturing. We're seeing that example in China where, the manufacturing operations are actually back to full speed pretty quickly. And to your point, I mean, services and, restaurants and things like that will be slower to come back. But there are parts of the economy that will come roaring back because they've been underproducing. I mean, a good example would be in the auto industry where they haven't been producing anything. Demand is actually coming back pretty quickly. We're hearing anecdotes about, demand picking up. I think there were some folks talking about that today in their earnings reports, and that makes sense. And there's going to have to be a ramp up of production to catch up from, having been shut down completely. So it's going to be a mixed bag. It's not going to be everything up and to the right. But once again, the rate of change should look quite strong.